Life recipes for success on WHED. And you're wondering, yes, you don't see her there, do you?
No, I don't.
You don't see her. And am I going to do one?
Do you have one?
Do I? I have a ton of them, Christine. I have a ton of life recipes for success. But I want to turn things over to our expert, Danny Lynn, WHED's Danny Lynn, who is on remote location this morning. Good morning, Danielle.
Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Doing great. How you doing today?
Good. Say hello to Christine over there.
Oh, I'm listening. Thank you.
So it's another week, and that means it's another time for a success ingredient so we can get moving and motivated.
Absolutely. Get us moving and motivated, even on a Monday from remote location, Danielle. And this week's ingredient is?
We're going to talk about the importance of leadership, whether it be in our family life or in our work life.
Okay.
And it comes to head for me because, personally, I've had a lot of change going on, both professionally and at my home, and I've realized that no longer am I just in charge of leading myself. I'm actually in charge of leading a number of people now, so it's not just me anymore. And so I started to pay attention to the impact of leadership. Now, I've always known that being a good leader and everything rises and falls on leadership, but I've never really realized how it really comes together until this week. So when it comes to leadership, Rob, what comes to mind for you?
Well, I guess here at the morning team, I help to lead the morning team every weekday morning, 5 to 9.
That's right.
So, yeah, no, I mean, I think I tend to be responsible.
I think you are very responsible, Rob.
Okay, thank you. No, so in that kind of sense, yeah, I think I got what it takes, Danielle. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, well, that's a very good point. And when it comes to leadership, no matter how you became a leader, whether you be the head of your household and you're a parent, or whether you are running your morning show, or whether you're a manager for an organization, regardless of how you became a leader, the question is, what kind of leader do you want to be? Because we impact people on a day-to-day basis, whether we know it or not, especially if we're in a place where we're leading others. And leadership is so important, because without good leadership, everything can fall to the wayside. You can have chaos among people. You can have inefficiencies. You can just create, basically a non-positive work environment or positive home environment. So it's very important to have good leadership and to always be developing yourself as a leader when you go along the course of your life, Yeah,
well, that makes sense, and you're right. I mean, you can either work to become a leader, and then there are some people who are leaders that fail to do what it takes to maintain being a leader, and sometimes some companies have, I guess, what you call an absent leader, where someone's not really running the ship, Danielle.
Oh, absolutely. They're just kind of tuning out, and they just kind of going through the motions, and it's really sad when that happens, because I mean, it's very important when your organization or your family life or whatever you're leading is not working well. You have to look in the mirror and say to yourself, what can I do to change the situation? Because the marks of a good leader are those individuals that can really bring people together, and they can create harmony, and they can create balance, they can create a vision, and they can really give people purpose and meaning, and they do that by unlocking the potential of each individual. One key thing to note, we're going to go through six steps this week that you can start to incorporate. Mm-hmm. But you really need to tune into the people that are in your team and pay attention to how they want to be led. So let's go through those 6 steps this morning.
Yeah, and that's good. And again, just to clarify for everyone, again, tips to be a good leader, it doesn't have to be necessarily a business situation, but it can be in the classroom or at home. So, yeah, let's get into some of those tips.
Absolutely, and if you think about it, even if you don't think you're a leader, you're still leading yourself, and whoever you surround yourself with, you're naturally influencing. So no matter what you're doing, you're always leading somebody. So yes, 6 key steps to begin to become a good leader. Number 1, you have to learn to develop trust among individuals, because if you don't have trust, people don't follow you, and therefore you don't have much influence with them.
Okay, that would be a very important one to begin leadership, because if you are not someone that people can trust, you're absolutely right. No one's going to believe in you, no one's going to follow you, and no one's going to stick up for you because they don't trust you. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very important one. It's exactly.
And people aren't going to go out of their way for you as a leader because they don't trust you.
Exactly. They're not going to respect you. 100%. Number 2 is you need to be accountable to yourself first and foremost. Your word is your bond. If people don't see that you're going to honor your word, why should they honor theirs? And again, it's about influence. So you have to hold yourself accountable, and you have to hold others accountable too. That means following up when you ask people to do something. It's kind of a pain in the butt, I understand, because when you ask somebody to do something, you shouldn't have to ask them again. But maybe that's a good chance for you to go outside your comfort zone and ask them again and just follow up and just kind of keep that momentum going, you know? Yeah,
and some people don't like to be asked to do things or to check on them. You can just say, can I have a status update, please?
Ooh, I like that. Step number 3 is you need to prioritize. The mark of a good leader really knows that there's always going to be tough decisions that have to be made. So if you don't have your priorities straight, the chances of you making poor decisions could actually unfold. So when you understand where things are and what's most important, it's easier for you to make those tough decisions and make good tough decisions.
All right.
Number 4, you need to delegate. Whatever you can delegate, you should delegate, because that frees you up as a leader to work on other things that you can work on. This is important in an organization, obviously.
Yeah, it is true. And I know that I personally have difficulties, and I think even you do as well, when it comes to delegating. You want to run everything yourself the same way that I want to run everything myself sometimes because you're afraid something will fall through the cracks. And, you know, that, I guess, goes back to learning to trust others. That's another whole thing. That
is so true. You have no idea. You're so right. But that's the mark of a good leader. You need to be uncomfortable, and you need to learn to delegate, and you need to release the fact that, yes, no one may be able to do it the way you are, but you got to learn to teach, and then you can move on to other things. So, yes, good point.
All right, number 5.
5, you need to empower others. You have to uplift them, and you have to tap into their potential and show others that they can actually accomplish whatever they want to accomplish. See, sometimes we don't see ourselves to our true colors. So the mark of a good leader is able to empower and untap those possibilities for others.
Mm-hmm. And I would say also would be inspire. If you ever worked for someone that inspired you, and then you want to go out and keep working for them, right?
Absolutely. You want to do anything for them so you can help make them better and make yourself better. Absolutely. Last but not least, a good leader has a vision. It's important to have a vision for how you want your family to be, how you want your organization to be, how you want your show to be, and you have to articulate that to whomever's on your team. Because when people have a shared common vision together, they have that common ground. And assuming that the vision is really good and it's a win-win vision for everybody, people are more apt to buy into that vision and to do things for you that you wouldn't even have to ask. So those 6 tips are key to becoming a good leader. It can take years to be a good leader, but you got to start today, you know?
Why wait? Yeah, okay, all right. This is good. This is a good article, and I know you can find out more up at liferecipesforsuccess.com, and that's really where you should go and read and become a leader, right, Danielle?
That's right. I am Danielle Lynn, reminding you all to sprinkle your life with a little success. Take care.